Hi everyone, Paul here, hope you're well. In this video, I'm going to give you the 4 things you need in order to be able to grow your candle and wax melt business. Okay, so the very first thing you need is a good product. I mean, it's obvious and it's vital. You need to ensure that your product is as good as it possibly can be. Now, that can be through testing, through checking with friends and family. But when you've made your product and you're happy with it yourself, get as many people as you can possible to test it. I mean, it goes without saying that your product needs to be good before you can get customers and before you start marketing it. But the reason for this is because when you're new to the wax melt and candle business and new to selling your products, you're looking for, and what you desperately need to grow your business are the 3 R's. And that is reviews, recommendations, and referrals. So you want as many reviews of your product as you possibly can, from customers, from sending your product out to influencers to review for you, and from your friends and family. You get a review, you know, as long as it's an honest review. These aren't necessarily ones you want to publish to the public, but these are ones you need to take on board. You need to take on board the criticism. I mean, you know, you will get lots of people say that they're fantastic, they're the best they've ever tried. That's brilliant. I mean, that's really good. That's what you want to hear. But the most important feedback you need is the criticisms, the issues. I mean, what's wrong with it? Does it not quite last as long, etc. The reason for that is so you can learn from that issue, from those issues, and improve the products. Then you need recommendations. You know, when most people are starting up, they'll use social media heavily. So you want to try and get as many Facebook recommendations as you possibly can. Be famous over Facebook for your type of product. Because when people are trying a new company out for the first time, you'll probably do the same when you're shopping around as well. You look at reviews and see what other people think before making an informed decision. So that's why you need to make sure you get as many recommendations as you can on Facebook, so people can put their mind at ease if they're not sure whether to try you or not. The last R, the third R, is referrals. This is a way in which you're going to grow your business massively if you can do it. If you can nail your referral scheme, you will exponentially grow your business if you get that bit right. But when you're small and when you're first starting out, get your customers to refer their family and friends on. Put a little leaflet in their orders saying, if you refer someone, I'll give you a free gift. I'll give you 10% off your next order, something like that. Anything you can do to encourage referrals, that are 3 R's that you want to do. And that will ensure that when you come to launch your product, you have the best product possible and it's been tested, tried, you've got reviews to back it up, you've got customer referrals. So that's the first thing you need. The very first thing you need is a very good product, and know it's a good product because you've had that feedback. The second thing you need is good branding. And you know, when I say good branding, I'm sure the very first thing that came to your head was a logo. And yes, that's the first thing people will see is your logo. It needs to be clear, crisp. It needs to be easily recognizable amongst a crowd of others. It needs to clearly convey what you do, or at least represent something that you do. If it doesn't, then maybe you want to think about including a little tagline as well. So it's, for example, it could be, you know, our company name is Cozy Aromas. You know, it's relatively straightforward. If it was just cozy, then perhaps our tagline could be, you know, the standard tagline, you know, the best wax melts and candles you can find. That's really tacky. Do not use that. But you know what I mean. You got your logo, your company name, and then a tagline. If you need a tagline, if your company name and logo does not convey what it is you do. Branding is so much more than just your logo. That's what you've got to remember. So branding is the feeling that customers get, the feeling that people get when they look at your brand, when they look at your logo, when they hear your company name. Well, how does that make them feel? That is something that your branding can help influence. So what you want to do, you want to work on your tone of voice. So how you want your written word and if you do any videos and things, how you want to come across in terms of messaging online and throughout all of your products? Do you want to be friendly, down to earth? Do you want to be more corporate? That's all things you need to think about, because once you've done that, you can then work on a plan, which is your tone and voice plan. So then every time you launch a social media post, every time you launch a new piece of marketing or content, if everything follows that plan, then you know everything is consistent. And that goes a long way towards forming your brand. And the other thing you want to do is come up with a color palette, something that complements your brand. So if your logo is blue and you've got some pink in there, find 5, 6, 7 other complementing colors that look really good. And then what you can do is with that is all of your social media posts, the colors that you use in there, if you're using a colored background, make sure it's one of your brand colors. If you're doing a piece of marketing material, a leaflet or something like that, make sure you include those colors. Don't deviate away from them. The whole idea here is to come up with like a branding plan, something you constantly stick to whenever you're putting any information out there for the public to see about your company. That will help resonate with people. You will get your messages across. And so then, when people see your company name, they're going to think, oh, that's that really professional company that helped answer all of my questions quickly, efficiently. I can't recommend them enough. Or it could be, oh yeah, those guys over there, they're so friendly, they're so down to earth, they really help as much. What you understand is whatever you want it to be, but make sure you write it down and come up with a plan that you can execute and implement into everything. The third thing you need to grow your business is margin. This is where so many makers of wax melts and candles fall at the very first hurdle. They will compete on price. They will want their product to be as cheap as possible. So then they think that lots of customers are going to come to them. And yes, they could very well do that in the early days, but the problem is that is not scalable. You're not going to have enough margin in your product to invest into other things to help grow your business. The typical rule of thumb is whatever your product costs to make, including your time as well, times that by 4, and that is the minimum you want to be selling your product for. Ideally, you want a lot more than that. For example, our wax melts, our Cozy Pods, 110 gram, big round wax melts. You might have seen them before. We sell them for £5.99. They cost us 89 pence to make, all in, everything in 89 pence. That's a big margin. And what that allows us to do, that gives us the flexibility there to have, obviously, first of all, we've got wages and things like that to pay, which is all fine, but that gives us margin to be able to reinvest into marketing to grow the business. Without that margin, if we could easily sell our wax melts for £2.50 and make money as such, but we would not grow because we do not have that margin in there to be able to take a chunk out and reinvest into marketing. So for every one of those £5.99 products we sell, £2 of that goes straight into our marketing budget. That's what you want. And also, the other thing it allows you to do is it gives you more margin to give what some people call customer cuddles. Now, what that means is giving your customers nice little surprises to make them feel loved that they were not expecting. So you sent, if someone buys 4 of your wax melts for £5.99 each, you've got a nice big margin there. Give them a little candle, give them a tin candle, give them another wax melt for free. Do something else. Do something to make them feel loved, because you've got that margin to do it. What you don't want to do is have no margin in your products, but still want to do these little customer cuddles, because you will not have enough money left over to actually grow. So that is something to do. Just one thing to remember is our products, they are not a commodity product. They are a luxury product, and therefore you should price it accordingly. Do not try and compete on price. Make yourself different from other people selling the same products. Try and do something that makes you stand out. That doesn't necessarily have to be a fancy new product that nobody's seen, but what it could be is your brand, your marketing, your message, how you want to be perceived online. This all ties in together, you see. So, you might have a product which is the same as another competitor's product, but make sure you market yours so much better. Make sure you put a lot of effort into how you're going to get that across to your customers. And ensure you've got margin in it, because without that margin, you will not grow. Would you rather have 200 orders a day at 5% margin, or 50 orders a day at 40% margin? I mean, work it out. Yes, you'll have lots more customers, but you won't be making any money. Just think about that. Think about the margin in your products and work out what it is currently and where you want it to be, and think about the changes you need to make. People are not interested in price. When it comes to our products, yes, people want a good deal. They want to know that what they're getting is value for money, but they're not going to say, very rarely do we get people come to us and say, but your product, you're selling this for $5.99. My friend down the road is selling them for £1.50. Yeah, that does happen every now and then. And the response is always, okay, buy it from your friends. We're not going to compete on that. So I would strongly recommend you think about that. The fourth thing you need is marketing. This is the one. You need the other three things that I've said: a good product, good branding, and margin all feeds into marketing, because this is how you're going to grow. You've got to remember, this channel that I'm creating here is all about how you can scale your business from 0 to £1 million in sales within 24 months. So therefore, you need heavy, heavy marketing to be able to do that. There's loads of things you can be doing. You need to make sure you invest as much margin as you possibly can into your marketing budget. And when you're operating your business, what you need to try and get into the mindset of doing is not being the person who makes wax melts, who's the person who packs orders, who deals with customers. That's all really important stuff, and you'll have to do that in the early days. You need to start coming up with a plan which allows you to hand that over to other people, and you full-time become the marketing person of your business. That's what I've done with our company, and it's working incredibly well. My sole job is marketing the business. If you can do that, you will notice such a huge difference. Now, like I said, it's not something most of you are going to be able to do now, but start working on a plan. Think about what your team looks like and the people you need on board to be able to take yourself out of working full-time on running the company and focusing on marketing. Because as soon as you can do that, the better. What you've got to remember as well is a good product does not sell itself. There's lots of comments floating around that people seriously think that a good product will sell itself. Not true. You might have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, they're not going to buy it. So you need to make sure you invest heavily in marketing. And the best form of marketing that we have found, there's two types. Firstly is paid advertising through Facebook. Now, with Google Ads, you are relying on people searching for your product, okay? Searching for your type of product, and then they will have a look around. With Facebook ads, you are putting your product in front of people that Facebook believes are interested. It's a whole different kettle of fish. So if you've got a really well-optimized campaign and you're targeting the ideal audience and you've got a good offer, that will help. But what you want to do is make sure that you follow up your customers, your first-time customers. Put a leaflet in their order saying, thanks so much for your first order with us. Jane, write their name on it as well so it's personalized. Here is 10% off your next order. Then if that person comes back, do something similar. On your next order, you'll get a free wax melt, you get a free candle. By the time they've ordered a third time, they are a fan. And therefore you can then start to say, right, would you recommend us to some friends? We'll give you 10% off. Whatever it is, however you want to work that. That's sort of the funnel you want to go down. Get that first customer with a great offer. Now, this doesn't have to be a heavily discounted product. This just needs to be something which is a really good offer that captures people's attention. Once they've become a customer, follow up. Nurture them through your funnel of first customer, second order, third order, then they're a fan. Start getting referrals out of them as well. If you can do that, you will grow as much as you possibly want. So that sums it up. So the four things, just to summarize, the four things are a good product. You must have a good product. Check, test, do everything you can to make sure your product is as good as it possibly can be. You need a great brand in terms of your visual logo, as well as your tone of voice, color palette. You need margin in your product. You want your product, the price you're selling for needs to be at a bare minimum 4 times the amount it costs you to make. And the fourth thing you need is marketing. You need to invest heavily in marketing, and you eventually need to become the sole person that does the marketing for your business. I can delve into these a lot more, and there'll be a lot more detail for each individual one. If you've got any questions at all, please leave a comment below, and please also subscribe to my channel, because I would very much like to grow this and offer my help to as many other people as I can. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care.